Awesome. Get up the chat window. Beautiful. All right. Happy Thursday night, everybody. If you've had a good day, put a 1 in the chat box. If you shorted Tesla today and made money, put a 7 in the chat box. While we wait for a couple people to show up. Awesome. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Dr. Tony. Hey. So I guess, Daz, whenever you're ready. There we go. I'll just let these folks in.
Peace and blessing, everyone.
Hey. Peace and blessings.
Blessings, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the call. We're going to get started here in just a second. I hope you guys are as excited as I am to share this information with you guys. We've really been putting together some amazing things. And we're going to talk about multiple ways to generate passive income and what all of that has to do with legacy ascending.
We are. Constance. Very good.
All right. So we're going to talk today, like I said, about being able to generate passive income in multiple ways and how that connects to Legacy Ascending. So Legacy Ascending is a creative finance company that helps people to be able to generate passive income and generational wealth through our vehicles. And we have multiple vehicles, but it's even more so important to know why you need passive income. So I just want to ask everybody in the chat right now, why? Why do you need passive income? Why would passive income be ideal in your life? What would that allow for you to do? Put in the chat. What about time freedom? What about lifestyle freedom, right? Having passive income allows you to still be able to live your life without having to worry about if the money is going to come in or not. That's to me what passive income is. Passive income to me is peace, right? So we're going to talk about a few vehicles today that'll help you to be able to get there because we all need it. If you don't find a way to make money in your sleep, you're going to work till you die. There's so many people that we have that are supposed to be retired, but they're your greeters at your local Walmart.
That's exactly right.
There are so many people who will never get to experience retirement because the bills keep coming and the money doesn't, or it just doesn't reach far enough. And we don't want that to be anybody here. We want to be able to help everybody here to be able to be in a position to create generational wealth. And the definition of wealth is how many days forward that our finances can carry us. So we're going to talk about how to be able to generate passive income through funding to be able to get positioned to be able to invest in the things that you want. We're going to be able to talk about how to generate passive income from real estate, and we're going to talk about how to generate passive income from team building. So I just want to think you guys to think about that. If you had $100,000 right now, get deposited into your business account, what would you do with it? What would you be able to invest in?
And notice she said business account.
Oh, yeah. What would you be able to do to have that money continuously grow? Would you invest in advertising for your business? Would you put it into your DeFi account? Would you get a car that you can rent out, to other people? Would you get a business, an online business that's just earning money for you, that somebody else working for you? What would you do?
Are we just having like an open discussion, or like, is it?
Yeah, we really want to know. What would you do with $100,000?
Oh, well, yeah, definitely real estate, trade. That's the two main things, and in my opinion.
Well, let's be clear. I'm so glad you're responding. What kind of real estate can you buy with $100,000 that'll make you money?
Well, I have a real estate agent in my family, and so I know she told me that you need at least $10,000 for a down payment to buy a house. So, I mean, that's what I was led to believe anyway.
Awesome, great.
At least 10,000 for one house, and I stay in Connecticut, so I mean, it differs place to place, especially myself. And I'm from Alabama, so I know for a fact that the houses and stuff get cheaper as you go down south. So whenever I did start my real estate ventures, I wanted to go down south and buy houses instead of up here. But I also wanted to buy a house up here because they rent out the attic, they rent out the middle floor and the basement up here. So that's 3 incomes on one house instead of just 1 income on one house down south. So, but yeah.
Beautiful.
So one thing, we've noticed is that there are a lot of good opportunities, but a lot of times we find people be in the situation that they can't capitalize on these opportunities because they don't have the funds, right? How many times have you thought to yourself, man, if I just had the money, I would do this. If I just had the money, I would do that, right? There's no shortage of good investments. There's just shortage of capital to be able to do so, right? To take advantage of these type of things. So that's one way that we're going to talk about today as far as being able to generate passive income is by utilizing funding to put into vehicles that can bring you more money.
Definitely. And I'm all ears. I want to listen. I want to hear all of it.
The second way that, like I was saying, is being able to take advantage of real estate. Now, there's always people being born. There's more people being born than there's money being printed, which means they're always going to need some place to live. And that is one of the most steadfast and true vehicles of generational wealth. These are things that you can leverage upon leverage upon leverage. Not only can it be bringing you passive income by renting out the doors, but you also can leverage the equity to put into more vehicles as you grow and you put into it. So Mark and I have put together quite the amazing system here at Legacy Ascending, and Mark is going to break it down a little bit more for you guys as far as what those actual components look like. But I'm excited, like I said, we need to get more passive income going. I'm so tired of just seeing people be sick and tired. How many times do you go into an establishment and you have somebody with the ugliest attitude because they hate their job? They don't want to be there. But guess what? They don't have any passive income coming in, and that's why they're there.
Absolutely. And thanks everybody for being here. We have had an amazing week of success, but what most people run into is that they can't get credit. And we like to say that, working for your job only makes you poorer, because what you're really doing is giving more money to someone else while you're transducing your time, which can't be renewed, into money. And so we like to think that credit is actually cheaper than the cash that you've got. And so being able to get credit is how rich people, how the wealthy have gotten where they've gotten. They certainly haven't used their own money. They compound their own wealth. And one day we'll talk about whole life and how you do that. But for us, being able to get credit is everything. And we have had, like tomorrow, we're getting 2 people, they're meeting with their lenders. Like tomorrow, literally, we will get on the phone with our big time lender and they will talk to them and they will get a contract that allows them to get approved and literally get funded. And some of you have no access. Some of you couldn't say, you know what, tomorrow I know I can be approved for 100K. I know I've got the connections. I know I've got everything that I need to make that happen. And if you don't have that, some of you don't have 100,000 sitting in a bank account to be able to go do some of the things that we've talked about, the real estate or the Shopify or the, you know, car rental, whatever that is, to make that generational wealth. So what do? Well, we've been poring over how to do generational wealth, not just real estate, but there's other components that we have to have, right? You have to have capital, but we don't want to use our own capital. So how do we get it? Well, thanks to what's happening with banking now, we can get capital for you as long as you have a few things, you know, in order. Can't just go to anybody anywhere, but there's a few things in order that can get you the capital you need to do everything here. Everything, real estate. There's our first level of funding. You can get corporate credit out to $500,000. We can do equity funding on properties that you want to buy. Remember, somebody in the chat said, oh, put a bunch of people together to get a big commercial property. You can do it yourself. We'll show you how. And then back up your loan payments with a Shopify store that'll guaranteed make you between $5,000 and $3,000 a month after 8 months. We deal with credit repair. We deal with credit enhancement. And if you don't know what those 2 things are, we should talk. We deal with, we have a corporate crypto process that Dazzle is going to be showing you about, so that if you don't like to do the business side, but you're like, you know what, I'm a real trader, we're going to show you how to make between 3 and 5% easily, give or take, but 3 or 5% doing a particular process. There's a bunch of them. So that, again, you can keep the cash flow going. We will show you about how to incorporate all of these assets that you're going to be getting in a structure so that nobody can take them from you and you can hand them down to your generation. Why get a bunch of assets that the government's going to get involved with to hand it down, right? They're going to tax you. No, not anymore. And then, of course, team building. I think, as far as I know, we're the only company yet to be able to do funding, real estate, business opportunities, all in a pay structure where we create teams that benefit everybody else. So that's what we're doing. And the more that we keep looking, the more we find great relationships that we already have to be able to get more wealth happening between now and the time that you have more passive income than you have expenses. Just like if you've ever played the cash flow game, to be able to get out of the rat race, you got to be able to, you know, have more passive income. And the way we do that in the end is with real estate and other big business opportunities, but we got to start somewhere. And so starting with some of these smaller things, getting your funding. Like some of you could be funded and approved by tomorrow. Like if you apply tonight, which we'll show you how to do. We had this happen last week, right? In fact, yeah, we had 2 people apply on our Thursday night call. We sent it in Friday morning. By Friday afternoon, they were approved. One for over 60,000, one for over 45,000, right? That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not making that up. That went down, and we've got some other people approved, you know, and some other people denied as well. But it's like, it didn't cost them but $1, y'all. I know it sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? And if it sounds too good to be true, it's probably true. Not in this case. Not in this case. So what's holding you back? Like, I don't mean like mental things. We can talk about that. And if you're on our team, we definitely do. But like specifics from you having generational wealth. Like, what is generational wealth? You being able to not work if you don't want to, your kids not needing to work if they don't want to, and your grandkids not being able to work, not needing to work if they don't want to. Maybe they should, but they don't have to. They got passive income paying. That's generational wealth. What's keeping you from making that happen? Some of you don't even know how to start. Some of you don't even know what, I don't even know where, if I had $100,000, what would I do to even start? Put it in the chat box, get open with us. What do you believe is holding you back? And it's okay to say education. It's okay to say credit score. It's okay to say all that. But what's there? Some of you have never said it before, and this is your chance. Put it into the chat box. What's holding you back from getting your generational wealth? Credit score, credit score, credit score. Lack of capital.
The first one is definitely education.
Education. What do we do with it? How do we even get there?
I would say it's not put out there for us. Like, this is the thing, with America. Like, it's a lot of opportunities, but you got to know the right people, and you got to be taught the right things to know how to take advantage of them.
Yeah.
And
it's kept from you.
Yeah. And where a lot of us grow up at, it's our surroundings. We grow up in poor areas. And so, it's not really revealed.
Do you know that even in the upper middle class areas, they don't know? What are they doing with their money? Put them in 401ks and IRAs and all that. It's just as bad. Savings accounts, just as bad.
Yeah, that's definitely bad.
Like, I posted this on my Facebook earlier this week. Do you know how many people laughed at it? They laughed. They're like, right. Like, if you don't get this, you're not going to get it. You're going to be working and getting sheared like everybody else is until you're 85 years old working at Walmart. If you don't understand what this means, mindset, credit, debt, mindset, time is money. Money is time. They don't know you can trade on your 401k. Yeah, they don't know you can borrow from your 401k and dump it into Bitcoin without getting a tax hit. We're going to talk about that, not on this call, but some of the things we talk about. Lack of capital, no connections, no info, education, knowing where or how to start. Dude, all of this, right? All of this is there. I'm just looking at the chat. You guys are all, go ahead.
It's a domino effect. It's a domino effect, because one thing trickles down to the next, and then to the next, and then to the next. Like,
yep. So if you could imagine how much that hurts, right? You can feel it in a part of your body, that lack, that poverty, that for some of you, it's a panic. Some of you can't make your house payment or your rent right now, right? You're September 1st going, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I get it. Where is that in your body? Find it in your actual physical person. Put it in the chat box. Where does that show up for you? Like, for me, I get it right just below my sternum, like in that solar plexus area. That's where I feel like it crushes me down, like it bends me over, pulling me into like a really weak position. Put it in the chat box. My throat, I feel it here. Great. Yeah. Put it in the chat box. Where does that show up for you?
That root chakra.
Sure. Down there in the pelvic area, stomach, the sacral area. Yeah.
The survival instinct,
Survival's first chakra. Back pain. Absolutely. Headaches. See, if we don't know where this is, no matter how much money you make, you're going to give it away. You guys know that the statistics I was just talking to Daz about this. The statistics on lottery winners is that 25% of them are broke, and they still have 20 years or more to go getting 3 or 4 million a year. They're broke. They can't get out because they never identified where this is. The pit of my stomach and in my joints, in my it's in my brain. Yeah, I got it. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you all to do a little exercise with me. I want you to imagine taking all of that stuff, putting it into a ball, like put it, concentrate it into wherever that is, your throat, your brain, your sacral chakra, your stomach. I want you to pull it from everywhere it is and put it in one place. And then I want you to imagine just gently pulling it out for a second and putting it to the side, putting it over to the side, away from you for a minute. Just take it out. And once you get it out, you're going to find some other little stragglers. Put that stuff out for a second. Now, I want you to put in the chat box, with that removed, what's possible for you now that wasn't possible 2 seconds ago? Like, who can you be? What's possible with all of that stuff out? Put it in the chat box. What's possible now for you that wasn't possible 20 seconds ago? Well, get specific, Deborah, not just anything. Get specific. Who are you now that you couldn't be before? What can you do?
Business owner.
You're a business owner. What, a $10,000 a month business owner? What kind of business owner?
Nah, more than that. I got bigger dreams than that.
Well, more doesn't get us anywhere.
I
Get
have,
specific. Put it out there.
well, for the most part, just at the CFO position.
CFO position working for somebody else?
You want to know why? Because CFO is the brain behind the CEO.
Beautiful. 50,000, got it. Earning 5,000 a day and 100,000 monthly. You can't get more specific than that, y'all. Get specific. If you can't get specific, the universe will keep you circling until you find it. Until you find it. For me, it's 100,000 a month. I'd love to see, and I will see 1.2 a year. Put it out. Put it out there. Put it out in the world. With that stuff removed, who can you be? I can be a successful artist, a millionaire trader, and a talented photographer. Yes, Alex, I get that. That is great. Put a number on that. I know you want to be an artist, but put a number on that. I can complete my dream of producing plays and helping someone else. Yes, Deborah, put a number on that. No number, you're working for free. No number, working for free. And as much as we love to work for free, we should get paid. 30K monthly.
I will just say this as far as about being specific. If you've not read the book Think and Grow Rich, you should. Every self-made millionaire and billionaire has read that book. There's no self-made billionaire that has not read that book.
Nope.
And it talks specifically about being intentional. So one of the things about not being specific, I'm gonna tell you two stories. One is you can fall into that lottery winner cycle, which is most lottery winners remain poor because they never had an ideal or plan for the funds that they received. Second, so when I first discovered about manifesting, just being intentional and different things like that, I had wrote a check out for $17,000 to myself. Well, I wasn't specific as even what I was willing to give up in order to get to that $17,000, but that's a principle that you'll learn in Think and Grow Rich. And I say that to say I did get the $17,000, but I got it from being in 2 car accidents 6 months back to back. So being specific is important. You gotta know. You gotta know.
You all are powerful. And Daz is powerful. And Daz generated that. You got to get that. You generated that in the end. She generated, I'm going to do this. Well, how she got it, she left up to the universe. That's maybe not so great, right? Not that the universe is out to get you, but if you're powerful, and I know all y'all are, I'm going to make $100,000 this year. Well, how about an insurance claim because you were in a car accident? Let's be a little more specific. Let's not leave. Let's visualize, and we'll talk about that. But I want to show you something real quick, and I don't want to get into the plan of it. I just want to kind of get you excited. We've been looking at this slide for a while because the first step is getting the funding. And just about every one of you will have, if not now, very soon, when you work with us, the ability to grasp $100,000 at 0% for 1 year or more. And one of the things that we can do, one of our plans is once we get funded with that, let's say you can get up to 70,000. We open up a Shopify store. You can use some of that credit to be able to make between $5,000 and $30,000 a month after about 9 months. Then we can use that to go do what's called to get a seasoned corporation that has a built-in $500,000 worth of credit after 4 to 8 months. Meanwhile, you're still making your money over here. Then we go look for that and leverage that with an equity loan to get commercial real estate. And now you got your generational wealth. This is how we do it. For those of you who are like, oh, we got to get a bunch of people together to buy commercial. No, you don't. You could do it all by yourself. One of our plans. So we can do this together. It's going to take some team building. It's going to take some faith. And ain't no free lunch, y'all, right? Rich people didn't get rich by pushing a button. Silver spoon people notwithstanding. I mean, like, you know what I mean? So I really appreciate all of your vulnerability and putting your where that stuff was for you. If you want to bring that stuff back into yourself, you can. I just soon leave it out there for now. It'll come back on its own whenever it thinks it wants to. And then we all receive and put blessing onto your creations here in the chat box, and we bless these creations. And Daz, I'm handing it back to you.
So yeah, that is our first step, is the funding. And the first step, like, you guys need to have a plan. We don't want to put, it's like, you don't want to put the keys of a car in the hands of somebody who can't drive, right? You have to know what you would do with those funds. That was the specific reason for asking that question, because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So that's level one. Level one is to be able to get up to $100,000 in funding to your business account, because you do need to have a business account in order to do so. Now, you don't have to have income verification, which is the major holdup between funding and a lot of people, is being able to have that income verification, because you need this capital, right? So that you can fuel your passive income stream. So you might not have got the income that you need just yet. So you don't need an income verification to do so. You do need to have a FICO score of 685 or better to be able to qualify for the funding. And we will be able to get you an approval in 72 hours or less. Now, the process of the funding, you will, after you, no, let me go back. The process of the funding is you will go to 3scoresnow.com, and you will get your FICO report, your 3 scores report, and you will email. Mark, can you put the slide for that one up there?
Is it not up?
Oh, mine just shows the screen. I don't see the slide. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, I'm on the wrong screen. Okay. Yeah, so let me go back. Okay, so yeah, you need the FICO score of the 685. You're gonna go to 3scoresnow.com and download the PDF version of your report. The PDF is very important. We've got some HTMLs come in, PDF version, download that. And you're going to email that to funding@legacyascending.com. You're going to include your name, phone number, email, and last 4 of your social, so that we make sure everything goes with you, because just the way that it goes through the secure server, things get split later down the line. Right. So make sure that you do include that information. And like we said, you will get a answer in 72 hours or less. Now, after you receive an answer, you're going to meet with us, because like we said, we don't want to put no keys in the hands of somebody who can't drive. So you'll have another meeting to actually talk to us, to be able to learn what your options are that you can do to be able to maximize the funding that you're approved for.
Yeah, and let's be clear about the 685. 685 is our minimum. Now, some of you have 820s, but you got a late payment from 7 years ago. We've seen those people denied. You've got to have, when we say corporate clean, I mean, you need to have corporate good credit. And that means you don't have 50 million inquiries. That means you could have a 685 or you could have a 650, as long as you don't have credit cards that are over 50%. As long as you don't have a bankruptcy or a IRS tax lien or something like this, as long as there's no blemishes and not a ton of inquiries, you could probably make it work. But if you've got any of those things, you will get denied. But like what Daz was saying, the benefit of this is if you were to apply, let's say at Amex, or Visa, one of the Capital One, whatever, they're going to deny you and go, sorry, we don't like you. And then you don't know anything. But here we will get a breakdown of exactly what it is that's wrong, what you need to do, and then either our lender will give you some opportunities. Like we just had somebody denied and they still want to talk to this person because they have some options for them. The lender does. That's how awesome our relationship is with this lender. And then if they don't, like, well, these are the things that need to get fixed, you got inquiries or there's some late payments, we have options to help you on the credit repair side, which is why I'm like, you know what, there's almost nobody here who can't make this work. It may not happen tomorrow. It may take a little bit of work. And then also for those of you who have bankruptcies and IRS tax liens, we've got some options for you there, especially since this all has to happen within a corporate structure, which it's very easy to set one of these up, as you might imagine. And within that structure, there's so many options. Even if you're like, you know what, my credit can't be repaired for the next 10 years, don't worry. There's ways around that as well.
Yep.
So just like Mark was saying, you're gonna need a FICO score of 685 or better, and need a pre-existing LLC. That is very important to be a business. If you don't have a business bank account, they're not gonna deposit funds to you.
You can just to be clear, you can apply, and we can help you set one up in a day. Okay, but so you don't have to have one before. You can still apply with that one, but when you're approved, then we got to get on it because there's some work to be done.
But I mean, it's just that easy. But the main goal is thinking, what will you do with this capital? How can this be best utilized? That is definitely the homework, because it's not that the things that we have are out of reach, is that now everything is in reach, and we need to formulate a plan. And we have so many things available just right here, like real estate. You can actually, be able to, there's two ways actually that you can leverage Airbnb. So yes, you can use the funds as a down payment on a property, and you can make sure that you're booked and leverage. You're booked enough to cover your mortgage as well as to be in profit with the Airbnb. There's also a way that you actually can do a subleasing method. So you can actually, pay a lease on somewhere for a year, and then, you can Airbnb on that as well. Not to mention being able to put those funds, like I said, into the rent-a-car thing, not rent-a-car thing, but to be able to put in the rent-a-car and rent your own cars as passive income, to be able to leverage it to get a corporate credit account, which is so that you need to be able to get the corporation, you'll be able to get almost $500,000. So that's pretty dope. So that's the main thing, is having a plan to be able to put the money, because the money's there. The money's there. But if you're just a fool with money, you're just gonna be a broke fool next week.
That's
so
right.
We have to be smart and wise with our wealth, right? We don't want to be broke fools with money. We want to be wise with wealth.
And the other thing is, it's impossible to be wise with wealth without accountability, and it's impossible to be accountable without a team. And that's why people who have joined us as affiliates, we've got an entire team of people that are both participating off each other's funding and real estate and all those things, but also holding each other to account, going, did you do what you said you're supposed to do? Are you really going to take that deal? Let's talk about it. And for those of you who are in a trading group, you know how important that is, right? Trading on your own is terrible, but trading with the group makes it easy and a lot more profitable. And that's exactly what we want to do here. If you take a trade on Tesla today and you're like, well, it's maybe not the best trade of the year, but I know I'll make a little money, that's one thing. But if you get yourself into a $1.5 million apartment complex and you didn't think it through and didn't do the numbers and didn't do your due diligence, that's bad news. We don't want that. So accountability is everything. Absolutely.
So the second step that we actually have as far as passive income vehicles is being able to leverage the funding from level 1 and to be able to get a corporation that actually gives you access to more capital that you can leverage to get real estate. Why? Because there's more people being born than there's money being printed, and they're always going to need a place to stay. Till the end of time, people are going to need a home. And that is our second level. So it does take, it's not going to happen in 2 days. It does not happen in 2 days, but we do have things in place that are set strategically to put you in a position to be able to get that second level of funding.
Yep. Seasoned corporations, y'all. Seasoned corporations. And to get that, see, this whole situation, this is just one of the many plans that we have. We don't want you to spend your own money. The only money we want you to spend is that $1 to apply. It costs $1 to apply to see, to get your credit. It's a soft pull. And you'll submit it tonight and we'll get it to them tomorrow. And you might have an approval by Friday afternoon, maybe, but technically it's 72 hours. That's going to cost you the whopping $1. After that, we want to use the bank money, institutions money to do the rest of this. No, not OPM. OIM, other institutions money. I want to give other people money, other people's money. I want to get them money. Other institution, I take that money. We use it, make my generational wealth, get back the 100 years of theft they've done to our generations for the last 100 years. That's what I'm talking about. So we want to use other institutions' money to make this happen for ourselves. That's right. Good for you. Good for you. Does anybody have any questions? We're kind of glossing over. There's so many. We're not going to have time to delve down into the depths of how each one of these things work. If you've got a question, if you've got a situation, drop it in the chat box or hop off mute. We're here to source if we can. And of course, if you want to just, while we're here, register, apply, get your scores, send them to funding. This is a secure email server. It goes directly to the lender. We don't look at it other than just your the body of the email, so we can link it to the file that you're going to send. And that's that. Questions, concerns? Anybody getting any value? Put a 3 in the chat box if this is valuable to you at all.
Could I ask how much the interest gonna be like after the year?
Well, it could be up to 2 years. After that, it's between 8 and 15%. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the 3s. I appreciate that. But the point of this whole thing is this plan. Let me pull this up again. This is plan number 1. This should happen within a year. You should be up with a $1.5 million commercial real estate property that you have and are cash flowing positively, including all of your debt service, within a year. And a year after that, we've shown you how to flip it, and you're now up several $100,000. Is this guaranteed? No, but this is our intent, and we know this can be done in a year. Most of you will get between 18 and 21 months at 0%, which is a windfall for some of you. Some of you are going to get 110,000 doing this. You know, some of you are going to get 15,000 and be like, oh, what? And like, listen, that's okay. We're going to help you with your credit. We're going to apply again. And that's the other thing we can do. We can apply again and again and again. All right, which is great stuff.
I have a question. After the preliminary portion where there's no interest, is there a balloon payment or something with these lenders? Because I'm just thinking in terms of, if they're no interest for a certain amount of time, how are they going to make their money back?
Well, they make their money because there is a 10% fee. That fee is applied to your credit upon reception. Once you get it, it's 10% for every piece of credit that you get in this level 1. But what they typically do is they figure, and by they, I mean the banks, figure that people will forget that these things expire, their 0% expire, and then, as most people do, and then just let it run, and then all of a sudden they're paying interest and they go, oh no, what's happening? So and also, this is not being offered to people, to sheep like us. It's being offered to companies, which is why we're saying, hey, you have to have an LLC, you have to have an EIN, otherwise you don't get it. And that's why. And why is that? Because they know that companies tend to not go when Lambo when they get money, right? And splurge. Companies' whole purpose is to make money. So when they make money, then they have a better chance of paying back their loans. So also for banks right now, they're starving because interest rates are going up. So they're trying to issue these loans to companies to try to get loans on their books. Because if they all of a sudden don't have loans on their books, things start going really badly.
And when you mean a seasoned company, what is your definition of a seasoned company? Because I do have 2 LLCs,
Great.
2 EINs, actually 4 to be exact. So I'm just trying to figure out what season are you talking about?
Do your without violating any confidential corporate information, do your LLCs have good financials?
Yes.
Great. So you could theoretically go through a process, and we with our partners, we could take your current LLCs and build corporate credit within a few months so that you could, depending on where, how you've incorporated, there's a bunch of things there we would need to look at, but so that you could have up to that $500,000 level or maybe more in corporate credit that you could use. What I mean by a seasoned company is some companies have they basically 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago bought a bunch of LLCs, and they've just been sitting there doing nothing. Nobody's doing anything with them. They get over that 2-year period, and now banks consider them viable because they're seasoned. You buy one with your credit that you've got here, and then you let these companies go through and build credit with you, build some financials. And by the way, when you're doing your Shopify, you're building financials, right? Every $10,000 a month that you drop into that checking account is a financial, is money as far as the bank is concerned. We combine that with this seasoned company, which we attach into your corporate structure. And now you're getting corporate loans based on the fact that you have good financials. It's an over 2-year-old company, doesn't have anything wrong with it. And it's in a corporate structure that's making money.
Okay, yeah, they're all over 4 years, and
Perfect.
they do have one's a clinic, a primary care clinic. So, so that's why I was wondering, what did you mean by season? So,
yeah, what we need to do is get that primary care clinic lawsuit proof.
could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, what we need to do with that primary care clinic is get it lawsuit proof, so that if somebody tried to sue you above and beyond your liability policy, they're going to go to an attorney, and attorney's going to pull up your company, and they're going to go, no, we don't want to sue them. That's what we want to do with all of our brick and mortar businesses.
Okay.
We should talk about that. Great question.
Okay.
Gretchen says, if you know your FICO score is not going to qualify you, what do you recommend for someone who is interested in moving forward? Well, lots of things. First of all, you can come join us and make money selling real estate with us, or getting people funding to help you get enough money so that you can buy yourself a corporate credit, or a corporation with built-in season credit, or whatever else you want to do. Go do your Shopify or Amazon, whatever. Depending on what's wrong with the credit, again, nothing we can do about bankruptcies and IRS tax liens. In fact, you can't even do property if you have an IRS tax lien. But if you don't have those two things, there's so much we can do. There's credit repair, there's credit improvement, and then of course there's credit enhancement. 3 different things that we have access to. So Gretchen, please reach out. Do you still have the plan to build corp credit and or personal? Yep. Yes, Jessica. Yes. 100 times yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
Like now, what under the LLC, could you actually do multiple lines of business under the LLC, or does it have to be just one thing?
Well, if it were me, and it is, I would have one LLC that did one line of credit. And then while I was building that one, I would have another LLC that was owned by a larger format company like a C Corp. So that both LLCs are owned by a C Corp, both building their own credit. And if you were to get $100,000, I know one guy who's working with us, who is getting to his 100,000 because he wants to buy 2 of these. Now he's got 2.
I meant as in like, okay, say I get an LLC and I wanna do, do real estate with it. Like, would I be able to do real estate and trading and like renting out my cars to Toro?
Oh yeah, totally.
All under one LLC instead of opening multiple LLCs?
Totally, but you shouldn't.
Okay.
You shouldn't. Each one of those should be separate, easy to do, and in fact, way more advantageous, because you can build corporate credit with one LLC, like let's say your trading LLC.
Right.
And then the other ones you're making lawsuit proof. You can't do both. You can't have an LLC that's lawsuit proof and that can build corporate credit. It don't work. So you have your brick and mortar ones where you might be able to be sued. Those you make lawsuit proof, and then you build credit with the ones that don't ever have somebody that can sue you, and you can have the best of both worlds. That's the beauty of a corporate structure.
Is that the term where like companies like come off with like branches of their bigger companies? Like,
yeah, they spin them off. Generally a structure of companies, a tree of companies. Exactly.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, you don't want to put everything in one basket. And I see people do it in real estate all the time. And what happens is somebody falls down and breaks their leg in their rental property, and then they get sued. And now that attorney in the court has access to all the properties in that one LLC. Really a bad idea. You want to have, if you're doing it right, in my mind. And I'm just the bald white guy. I'm not your financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm telling you how I do it. Every property, its own LLC.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
They have a parent company and then spinoffs.
And have that parent company in a state of the union that doesn't have state tax.
Right.
And if you're in California or New York or Hawaii, right. Right. Great questions. Anybody else got questions or statements? Anybody mad? Anybody mad? Nobody's mad?
Not at all.
Not yet. Okay. I have a corp, but we had to stop. Hold on, Jessica, 1 second. Oh, hold on. Let me read this for Jessica and I'll get you. I have a corp, but we had to stop the flow of the business. Didn't have enough funding to continue. So now I am stuck. I need to build credit. Well, make sure you close that business. If you're not going to use it, don't leave it hanging in the state. Close it, because when you get your corporate credit from your seasoned company, the banks, when they go to give you the 500K-ish, they're going to look you up and they're going to go, ooh, she's got some unclosed companies. That's going to look bad. So make sure you close those out officially. I know, Gladiator. I know you're always mad. Great question. Okay, who was that had a question? Hop off mute again.
Hello.
Hi.
So my question is, do you know anything in regards to setting up a LLC structure as a trust?
That's sort of like that those two words don't really go together. You can't set up an LLC as a trust in a way that's useful. You can have a trust in an LLC. You can have an LLC in a trust. But you got to be, in my mind, there are very few reasons to do trusts at all, mainly having to do with holding assets that are sentimental to you, but don't have value, like your great-grandfather's musket collection. Now, maybe somebody would say it's worth tens of thousands. And if it were, then you might put that as a collection asset in your LLC. But if your great-grandmother's apron collection that you want to hand down to your kids and kids and kids, that probably doesn't have a lot of value. That could go into a trust. Remember that trusts don't last very long. They don't have unlimited lives as like a C Corp does. A C Corp will last for hundreds of years. So we want to structure ourselves. That's why there's a reason why banks are giving money to companies, not to trusts or people or foundations. They're starting with the corporations because companies, first of all, you all know, run the whole game. It's not the politics, it's the companies. Two, they have all the flexibility. The law is on their side, and that's how we want to be set up. Now, I'm not your financial advisor, but for me, that's what I believe in, and that's how we're structuring. And the banks are wanting us to be structured. Great question. I was mad now, but I'm grateful to have access. Yeah, I was mad too. Shoot. I didn't get great info starting out. Nobody does. We all went to public school. When I went to college, and I did, they take you on orientation day, and then everybody's excited. You're a freshman. Hey, they take you to the library, and they go, "Oh, here's the books you're gonna need." I know, I'm that old. We had books. We go to the books, and like, "Oh, look, and over there's the law library, and over there," and then they take you, and I'm like, "Shouldn't we go into the law library?" Oh, no, we're going over here.
Right.
Dude, that's the only place we should be. Jefferson said it. He goes, and nobody gets this quote right, because he goes, the Jefferson said, "Oh, people should know the law and well disposed to use it." But what they don't say is what happens on either side. Right before that, he goes, "This democracy will work only if the people know the law and they're well disposed to use it. Else we'll live in tyranny." And that's exactly where we're at.
Because a lot of people don't know the law.
They don't know the law.
They don't know the tax. They don't know nothing that really matters.
Look,
And
there's a way, and some of you know this, there is a way to get, if you have an LLC in a C Corp situation, that you can get upwards of $25,000 in tax-free money. In fact, in the code, it says, please don't tell the IRS, we don't want to know about it. You just take it tax-free and then deduct it from your company. And there's these things all over the place in banking law, in getting funding, in real estate, so many tax loopholes. Why? Because it's a buddy-buddy club. And
Right.
now in the real estate side, we have access to dozens and dozens of properties every day that either you can take a look at, or on our teams, we help sell to help people get cash flow, right? Why? So that they can leave their jobs, stop working for the man and the men or whoever they are.
That's where I need to be at.
Yeah, well, hop in. Jessica, so Mark, shut the full corp down also, or just the Amazon part of it. We should talk, Jessica. We should talk. Doing this on text is not a good idea. Yeah, well, that's what Daz's and I are here for. Not that we're, we don't know everything, but we are formulating a plan that is not get rich quick. It's not push a button and make it happen. It's work. It's going to take time. But you all are burning your time working for wherever you're working and getting nothing, right? Getting nothing.
Getting taxed.
And taxed on it.
Right.
Taxed on it. Shoot.
I did have another question.
Yes, go ahead.
I know that you mentioned 401k, like being put in from our job. Is there a way that you can opt out of that all the way?
Opt out of, it's kind of hard to hear you. There's a lot of background noise. Opt out of what?
Is there a way to opt out of putting your money into a 401k in a corporate setting?
So let me, if I understand this right, you've got a social slave job that's putting money into a 401k as a part of your payment package?
Correct.
Got it. You can always go back and renegotiate with your employer and say, instead of putting that into a 401k, I'd like it here. But unfortunately, it's unlikely they'll give it to you, because as a part of their tax breaks, they get to put that money back into the sheet pen for you. However, here's what's great. If you're going to stay at your job for a while, obviously you don't want to pull that money out, because you'll lose half of it with the taxing. But what you can do is go to a big bank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, whatever, and get a loan against it. You can get a 5% loan or better.
So I actually work for JP Morgan.
Perfect.
And so I will go to another bank.
I mean, you could go to JPM if you want. They probably won't do it, but go to another bank and say, here's my 401k assets. What do you need this to look like so that you feel good to use it as collateral? They will give you up to 50% loan to value, between 5 to 7%. And now you got half of that available to you. You don't have to take it out, right? So you don't get the tax hit. You win, win, win using somebody else's money. Meanwhile, your 401k is still making money.
Okay.
You get it? Dude, it goes on and on and on. Wait till we tell you the secrets of how you don't even need to use your own FICO to get some of these loans. Oh, wow. About leverage. Come on, y'all. It's just the beginning.
I want to learn about the life insurance too, because I used to work with Primerica, and they was teaching me about whole term life. I meant whole life and term insurance. And I know for a fact that you could put however much money into a life insurance policy, and once it matures, you could borrow it out of your life insurance policy, but you still have money in the life insurance policy.
What if I told you you don't even have to mature, and I can show you how to borrow up to 90% of it and get paid to do so?
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, this is what's available here with us at Legacy Ascending. We've been working at this, and most of us have been paying, most of us being Daz and I, lots of money to get this education, lots and lots of money. And if you guys want, for real estate education, banking education, team building education, marketing, all of this, it's been expensive. And just not to mention the time, but it's worth it, isn't it? And some of you have also paid this, and we don't want you to pay this anymore. So if you want to join our team, we've got, we'd like to get some value, because we also know that people that join and are going to get these secrets, not just how to get funded, you guys pays $1 for that. Go do that now. But if you want to join the team and make money on money, leverage on leverage, and knowledge on knowledge, right? We know that you got to have some skin in the game. Otherwise, we're wasting our time. I used to be a life coach, and for 10 years, I coached people to try to help, because I want to help people. You guys want to help people. Daz wants to help people. If we never made money again, you know, if I had I have all of my expenses paid and everything else, and my generation is set up for the next 3 generations with passive income, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to help people.
Right.
But when I did it and didn't charge people, do you know how many people I helped? I talked to hundreds and hundreds of people, men in Los Angeles. I was a part of an organization there. You know how many people I helped for 10 years who actually had their lives changed? 0. Because nobody took me seriously. They got no skin in the game. And the minute I started charging them $1,000 a month, do you know how many lives I changed? Everybody I talked to. Everybody I had one guy who was a set designer in Hollywood. He closed his business, sold his house, and he's got a spiritual retreat in Montana because that's what he always wanted to do. Within 6 months, he had the property. I had another guy who was working as an insurance salesman. He's like, I just want to help people and I don't care how much the money is. And he had a passion for it. He became one of the supervisors in the county of Los Angeles for special education, making a major difference with people who have neurological issues. I'm telling you, once people put skin in the game, then we know they're serious. And you guys know it's true too. That's why we're not offering this for free. Funding, hey, free. You know, come hang out with us and just, you know, on our Thursday night calls, we have a Saturday morning call that we talk about real estate, free, no problem. But unless you're willing to put skin in the game like we have, it ain't going to matter to you. We know it, but we want to be able to help you. So to be an affiliate, it's $19.95. If you want to join our team, again, funding, go do it now. It's free. But the dollar.
$19.95 as in almost 2 vans.
Say that again.
I said $19.95 as in almost 2 vans.
2,000.
2,000.
That's correct. One time. That's it. No, not annually. No, we don't do that. We want you to be making 2,000 a day by the time a year rolls around, more. And we also have a payment plan. You want to jump on board with us? We understand not everybody's got $2,000. We can do 675 times 3 months. You're all up to date. We think it's pretty fair because if you want to come work with us directly and learn the secrets, it's valuable. You got to have skin in the game. Otherwise, we're wasting our time and your time because we know you're not going to respect us and we respect you too much. So if you want to join the affiliate team, that's different than coming and doing the funding. Go get your funding. Go get it. Do it now. Free. We want to see lots of emails at funding at Legacy Ascending. Let me put that slide up again. This one. Go do it now. Funding at Legacy Ascending. Get that stuff. Download it. But if you want to come join us on the affiliate team, Daz, how should they reach out to us?
Affiliate at legacyascending.com.
Perfect. Well, that doesn't get any easier. Just change this to affiliate and say, I want in. I want in. And we'll make it happen.
Oh, wow.
Daz, what do you think? What else? Anything?
No, let's create some wealth.
Let's get some wealth, y'all. And bring in our friends and family because you know how it is. Conversations disappear. You can go to a weekend and get all excited and hang out with us on a Thursday night and a Saturday morning and go, oh, this is going to be great. And then what happens? You go home or you get off the call and your family's there or your friends or we got to go back to work and you're like, oh yeah, I'm back in this conversation. We got to keep it generated. We got to get the community or make a new community in Legacy Ascending that keeps our energy high, the language high, and us perpetuating, moving forward with velocity. That's how we get there. Accountability, velocity, keeping the energy and the language high. Okay. All right, everybody. If you want to have somebody else watch this video, we recorded it. It'll be up on our YouTube channel, probably in about an hour or so. And also, you know what? Let me put into the chat our Discord for those who are interested in just hanging out with us on the other side. This isn't the paid side. This is just for folks who, you know, want to know more about what we're doing. I just posted that in the chat. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a hand up. This hand. Where is this hand at? Who's got that hand up?
I don't know where that came from. It just popped up.
Look like your hand, Mark.
Mine's probably could be mine. Hey, let's see if I can get this right. Oh, that's hard to do on this camera. Wow, that's hard. There it is. Affiliate at legacyascending.com. When you're ready, come join us tonight. Go get your funding. Get you approved by tomorrow if we can. And that's awesome. Thanks, everybody. We love you madly, and we look forward to working with you. I'm gonna leave this open so you guys can look through the chat for a minute and copy what you need. We'll talk soon. Bye for now.
Definitely.
They both was phenomenal people, y'all. I'm just letting y'all know whoever's here. Very, very phenomenal.